Nature of your nature. Come home to You Know More with Dr. Valerie Simonsen on KAKU 88.5 FM, the voice of Maui, broadcasting from Akaku Maui Community Media Center in downtown Kahului. Aloha, everyone. It's Dr. Valerie Simonsen here with The Nature of Your Nature. Thanks for joining us today on this amazing day in life. And I want to just build on a little bit what I've built on before, which is basically that they call it geomorphism. And geomorphism is about that the earth looks like the body parts. And a topic that's come up a lot for me this week with patients all over the world is how their immune system is attacking themselves. And I want to just bring a little bit of education into that, because the immune system doesn't attack us, it's attacking something in the body. So the other day there was a woman that's got Crohn's disease and also thyroid disease. Well, the research now shows that it's connected to the Epstein-Barr virus. And when I looked at the blood test in a little different way than what her other doctor was looking at it, it's obvious that her immune system is heightened, but the little guys that are in the immune system are the ones that fight viruses. So even though she had this condition years ago, it's still showing up. It's still showing up. So I wanted to put that little plug in here, and I'd like to play with it more at another time. But you know what? We have somebody that just walked in, and I love spontaneity, as many of you that know me do. And we have a new person here at Akaku that is going to be starting her own show. And I'm going to introduce Taz. Taz, you want to give us a little idea, a little bit about you?
Hi. Aloha, Dr. Valerie. My name is Aviella. Everyone calls me Taz. And a little bit about me. I am a business owner here on Maui. I have a handmade products business, but my deeper work is more into financial education, financial training. I am a nationally certified financial education instructor, and I am just super excited about having a show on Akaku to talk to people about, different things concerning financial education, financial principles. It's a show where people be able to call in if they want, or I'll prepare, talks and stuff so that we can really focus in on what the community says they're thinking about in terms of how money works and what they would like to know more about.
Well, I tell you, Taz, when you started to talk, and I'm getting chicken skin all over my body, because this is what we need. This is really what everybody needs, unless you're really fortunate that you've got a financial advisor or someone in your life. I'm fortunate that way, but I am all about what you're doing in the fact that I'm a woman.
Yes.
In business.
Yes.
Overgiving.
Yes.
Pushing past my capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter where I am, what I do, there's a different pay scale because I'm female compared to the male speakers, let's say. And so I'm really glad you're here. And I'm glad that you're on island.
Yes.
And I'm not sure, but I think maybe I've seen some of your jewelry.
Oh, actually, I make everything from like flower hair clips to have my own line of signature skincare products. I'm also a licensed esthetician and hairstylist.
Well, of course you are.
And I do a lot of the hair braiding and stuff here on the island, extensions, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, my gosh, all about beauty.
Yes, I'm a beauty business professional. I've been here 18 years.
18 years from...
Came directly off Norwegian Cruise Line, so I used to work on the cruise ship.
Oh
right?
my gosh, here's a cruise person, you guys. This is awesome.
Absolutely. But I was born in Kansas City, so go Chiefs.
Okay. Isn't that red and black or something like
and
that?
Yellow.
And yellow.
Red, yellow, white.
That combination.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's wonderful. When we think about health, everyone, health is more than our body. And when we think about money, there's two ways we can look at it. It's just really an amazing thing, or there's that other concept that there's some naughty with it, right?
Yes.
But I have found that most of my conditions that I personally dealt with in my life, my health, and a lot of my clients goes back to a financial root.
Sure. It's finances can definitely be a stressor for people, and that activates all kinds of, discomfort in the body. Illness or dis-ease manifest into target areas in your body. And health is one of the 7 dimensions of wealth. So when people are thinking about wealth, a lot of people think of money, but there's so much more to it. For example, this is an example of experiential wealth we're having right now, just being open to connect and build a relationship. We're just meeting, but we have time wealth, one, because on a Monday at 3 p.m. on Maui, we have the ability to take the time to come into Akaku right now. Right? That's a form of wealth.
It is.
And how we use our money usually has a huge impact basically on everything from how we think, which manifests into our beliefs and our behaviors and ultimately our habits.
Yes. And the word wealth comes from the root word wheel, W-E-A, which means wellness.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And full wellness.
Wellness.
Understanding, I'm a person who loves systems, right?
Ooh.
So understanding that there's systems for things that create results and outcomes. It's rarely just one isolated action or something that would create an outcome. And so when you're talking about being a student of wealth, which is what I am, and we're talking about having wellness, we're talking about aligning your different systems in a way to create a desired result that you expect
and can depend on.
Right. Makes all the difference in the world, right?
It really does. And a perfect example, I didn't get some of the things done this morning, some of my payments, and I went, I'll get it done because I had to take my truck in, and then I had another meeting, and then I thought I had all my information in my phone system. Well, I'd written it in incorrectly, so I can't get into my accounts, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I can't call them because I don't have the numbers or the card numbers or account numbers, whatever you call it.
Yes.
And I could just feel it in my body, like, oh, here I go again.
Like a shock, like
totally
resistance,
totally
compression.
And then it's like, Valerie, how many times do you need to do this in order to get that system solid? So it's written in my daytimer when I get home, big letters. We got to put it in a system. So that I can depend on that. I don't have to go looking for it. And my belly's going to feel a lot better, right?
Right. Exactly. No, that's huge. And that's a good point. I mean, we never know about the unexpected that comes up in a day. And it's always, this comes up when you're as far away from a solution or a tool or a resource that you need to manage it, right? And so with systems, I also, am a fan of, in some cases, like backup systems. Those are just as huge as the system itself.
Yeah. Just like today. Here I am. All my stuff is in haiku. I don't have a backup system. If my phone's not working and there's no backup system.
Sure.
So give me an example of a backup system. What could we do? Especially knowing with all of these solar flares and all this stuff happening, phones don't always work. What can people do?
So a backup system for like day-to-day management of your
money. Money.
For money backup system. Okay. So an example of a backup system. We were talking about you were missing account numbers and things like that, but there's something that needs to be paid on the schedule.
Right.
Okay. So one thing that I've done in the past is if I don't automate payments coming out towards something.
Right.
I do send myself reminders with pertinent information of what needs to be done. So an example of this, if I have Google Workspace, it's kind of funny, but people put their meeting appointments on Google Calendar, right? I will too. But I'll also put a reminder on Google Calendar that I need to pay this. And I might have either a code for an account number or the last 4 digits in the account number or something like that in there, so I know the phone number to call. Just like it's a meeting. I'm asking for the name, so the name of the person or the business that I need to pay, the vendor, a phone number, account information, email address, this type of stuff. So if I don't have my information in front of me, I get reminders. Now I can retrieve it on my phone, but because it's in Google Calendar, I can also retrieve it on a computer. So worst case scenario, like here at Akaku, they have a computer here. So if my phone were to die, I could go into Google Calendar, look it up, and the information is there.
Right. That's brilliant.
So that's a backup system.
What's another one, like in the fires? You were here for the fires,
I
of
was.
course, right? We didn't have phones. We didn't have anything. And I had one of my businesses all on computer. So I couldn't touch anything for weeks, right? Do you know, like, any hand, paper, pencil tips about something like that? How do we prepare for these situations like the fires?
Now, the fires were obviously something that we all reacted to versus responded to, right? We all had our reaction to it. And I was actually one of the Operation Hope disaster management people. And some of the things that they recommend is obviously having something written down in a notebook or something that you can go to tucked away in your car in that middle console where you normally have your registration, license, all that kind of information. Just having a little book for me in the middle console that has stuff like that. In terms of money, there's a couple different layers we could look at from there. I'm gonna just take, I guess, one of them that I think was most helpful for me specifically, and that's having a cash value policy in place where I could, even though I couldn't access, say, I was living in Kihei, so I wasn't in Lahaina, first of all, during the fires. But business did stop in Lahaina for me, so that is a direct effect in terms of income generation. So having a system in place where I automate a percentage of sales that was coming in before this event happened and put it away in a interest-bearing account so that when this emergency came up, I could take a loan from myself to cover operational expenses until business came back.
That's brilliant.
That would be an example.
I'm going to go back to the little notebook.
Yeah.
Just even one of those little ones that are about 3 inches by 4 or 5 inches. As I used to carry that, but my bag gets too heavy, with the bigger stuff. So keep it with your valuables, and if you keep it really small. And the other thing that I have found to be useful is some kind of a code system.
Exactly.
Right? So if somebody finds it, they don't have a clue what I've written, right?
Right.
But I understand what it is.
Exactly, and that's what I mean, like having maybe a whole account number, you have the last 4 digits memorized. You don't include that. You just have the first part of the account number, and to plug in the last 4 digits because that's what you've committed to memory. Yeah, and one of I have a little situation with dyslexia, so numbers are not easy for me. But as you were talking about that, I was just thinking, it's like a number, let's say 4681, I could make a story. There's 4 ducks, 6 horses. Absolutely.
Right? And make a, what do you call that?
It's like almost a song about
yeah,
it.
so that I can remember that, right?
Absolutely.
So for any of you that have any issues with numbers, seeing them backwards, upside down, things like that, that might be a tool for you, right?
It's a really good tool, actually.
Yeah.
You know, all through college, I would do that. I would memorize important facts by creating a song. An example of that on a very elementary level, I think, is EGBDF in a music class, which stands for Every Good Boy Does Fine, but that's also a musical scale.
Oh.
So I would assign a word or some kind of concept to each principal. In this case, E is actually a note that you play on the musical scale. So E, G, B, D, F, that's everything on a musical staff, treble clef. E, G, B, D, F. Every good boy does fine. So it tells me where it is on the scale, and it's what comes after each other.
Wow.
Each one builds on the next.
Way over my head.
Yeah, E is down, F is up. So
Great.
Yeah.
When you're talking about that, I'm thinking about Louise Lambert. Have you ever met her? She's a singer.
Is she a singer?
Yeah,
of
jazz.
course. We used to be at Kono's on the green all the time.
Okay,
Yes, I know
yeah.
exactly who that is.
Yeah, when she was learning to be a massage therapist, I was one of the instructors there, and everybody in the class had their own way of taking the final. So one guy was a potterist. This was on the cardiac system, and he made a clay feature of a guy on an operation table with a waterfall of red blood going up.
Oh, wow.
You know, but Louise did music. She wrote a song,
Yes.
and that's how she talked about how the circulatory
Tory system works.
works.
Yes. That's
And-
our blood vessels and our
Yeah. And
heart.
that's how I learned Hawaiian language. Papakalakea. They had an English, hymnal, but then they had the Hawaiian. And that's how I learned to speak some of the language, was through music.
Wow. Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
wonderful training tool.
It is. It's a good tool. And everybody can do it, even if you don't have the ear. I've never been musically, quote, inclined, but there is something about that little jingle, right? My dog has fleas, or whatever it is, right? And when I was in medical school, you know, the dyslexia, that's tough. For me, it's been that I don't memorize. I can talk to anybody, and I can remember everything about you, Taz. But if I had to memorize and then spit it back, I'm not any good at that. And we had to learn all the muscles in the back. And it was down to the wire. And there was a guy from New Zealand, I think it was, and he came in and he made it fun, and he made every muscle, the attachment, and all of those things, the nerve attachment, and he made it like he could relate to where we are. I'm real visual, and I love the circus. So he helped me create all the muscles so it was part of the circus.
Oh, I love that. That's super creative.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah, and I did really well on the test. And
Yeah.
I'll never forget the trapezius muscle, right? And so when you're thinking about this, folks, different ways of using creativity.
Yes.
Right? And I really like, Taz, that you have a balance in your life. You're using your creative skills with your flowers and all of that beautiful stuff. But then you've got this other side of you that's quite linear. You know, finances are pretty linear, but somehow you've been able to bridge that.
Yeah, so the thing about me, because I'm creative, I am challenged sometimes with ideas like groupthink, meaning if someone were to try to deliver, this is how you do a budget based on the way everybody does a budget, not only would I be bored to death, but I probably wouldn't pick it up as well as if you gave every item on the budget a purpose or a job to do. Now I have turned it into almost like a board game in my mind where I have each item on my budget is a piece in the board game, and now I can see these pieces moving. And usually in board games, you try to get from one end of the board to a result or a specific destination. Then I can assign the destination some type of value. For me, it'll be an expectation or a something that's aligned with my core values, and then now I'm excited. So you can tell me that, to get back to the example I said earlier about taking 20% of sales, since we're business owners, you can tell me to create a budget and write down all my operating expenses and subtract the taxes and all of this kind of stuff. No, thank you. Or you can tell me, these are your soldiers. And when they go out, they're going out looking for problems to solve. And each time they find a problem to solve, there's an exchange that happens of value. Right? Mm-hmm. So their job is to go out and find these problems to solve so that they are solutions. Now, when they find these problems and they become solutions, I can expect for them to come back with some kind of gift that they received from the place in which they solved the problem. Like, oh, okay, so I got all these little helpers running around, out here to helping people, right? And when they bring that back, what I can do is, I like the number 3. 3 is a really good number for me, right? Yeah. So I know if I brought them, or they went out, they came back, let's say with 3. Maybe they got 3 of something. It doesn't necessarily have to be dollars, something of value, but 3. I know that one of those 3, I want to first put away and to figure out how to turn that into more than one. Right? Mm-hmm. So that would be equivalent to like an investable part. Right? Invest first. Yeah. In business, profit first. Because business is, to me, is a type of investment. So when you have an investment, you're expecting to get a return. So when you're operating in business and you do something where you receive money, you put that first thing up so that you can find a way to put it somewhere and multiply it. So I still have 2 left, right? The second one is going to be to maintain home. I got to take care of home. Whatever home is. Home could be putting more gas in the car. Home could be getting groceries. Home could be paying for internet, whatever it needs to be. But take care of home. These are the things that are required for me to operate or continue to deploy my little helpers. They have to have kind of like a charging port that they come to, plug in, refill, and go back out. And then that third one, that's the one that I'm going to figure out how to either save until I can find a use for it. Right? Some people call that emergency. Right. Put that up, save that until I can find a use for it. Emergency is not always bad thing. Emergency could be, I just came across this amazing opportunity. Right. It's time sensitive. Yeah. And I do not want to finance it with debt. Right? So 1, 2, 3. I have those 3. And sometimes it's just there waiting, because it's okay to wait on the opportunity.
That's 3. Beautiful. 3. That's 4 is 5 is way too much. I'm learning that, especially after coming back out of the fires. And there's still that adrenaline running, and I think, I can get 20 things done today. Just get 3. Yeah. I got a new phone. I got my tires rotated, and I'm here. Yeah. That's about all I can do. Yeah. Right? 3. Yeah. When you were talking about the Army or whatever it was, your group of people. Yeah. I think everybody, if you can remember what really gives you pleasure and learn that language. I'm a baseball player. Ooh. And so my whole financial scheme has always been a baseball game, a baseball field, first base, second base. And each part of that game has a value. Yes. So there's the umpire, right? And that's the one that says, yep, you're not going to do that right now. and then score, right? Okay, I did good there. And I think that's really important. When we're looking at our finances, it's a living being.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a piece of paper. And it's not based on our worthiness. It's based on our willingness to be responsible.
Mm-hmm.
And some people didn't get that. I certainly didn't.
I didn't.
Didn't you?
No, I did not. It seems like it's something they should have taught us in high school
or kindergarten.
Yeah, it would have been great if they're giving us blocks to build and stuff. Why wouldn't they incorporate, finances from that early so that we would be familiar with it, right, and it wouldn't scare us?
Yes.
And we would understand the difference between profit, revenue. We would know what it is to operate efficiently by the numbers. Because any business owner, any individual who is actively like managing finance, they all go back to the numbers. They go back to the numbers. And while there may be creative ways to reassign what the numbers are, because like I don't want to see a number 9, I'd rather make that be the value of fill in the blank. You have to know your numbers.
Got to know the numbers.
And you got to know the number you want to get to so that you can work your way towards it.
Yeah, that's really valuable. Know the number you want to get to. And then say that again.
Yeah, so work your way towards. So an example, let's say retirement for...
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
A large number of people are not really sure what the number is that would sustain their lifestyle that they desire after their working age, or after they decide no longer to be a part of the workforce. That's a number that they should know. And that number is a math problem. It's like a multiple of what you earn every year, right? Multiply that, assuming that what you earn every year does cover your living expenses, right? Multiply that by 20, 25, 30, however many years you have to retire. That will bring a number that you know that at minimum you need to shoot to have this amount of money in distributed income available. So not $300,000 in the bank. Investments that generate $300,000 per year, or whatever your number is. I'm just pulling 300.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
And it's difficult. That's what they call their financial independence number. And if anybody is not sure what that is, I mean, definitely something that can be looked up online to find out exactly how to apply it to your individual situation. And then another thing, subscriptions. There's this thing called a rule of 300. And the rule of 300 basically tells you how much a subscription today would cost you if you carried it through retirement. So let's say you're paying for cable and it's $99 a month. You want to take that $99 a month, multiply it times 12 to get a year, and then multiply that times 300. That's going to tell you how much that subscription actually costs you to keep it, because the price of subscription will go up over time.
Right.
And when you look at that number, then you look and say, is this worth?
Right.
Like, is the lemonade worth the squeeze of the lemon? Like.
Yeah. For sure.
If it is, great. But if it isn't, maybe reconsider.
Right. I'm going to go back to the numbers. We have a nonprofit, and that's who's actually sponsoring us today. It's You Know More. It's a nonprofit set up to support healthcare providers, first responders, educators, and community leaders with restorative care. So I started this in 2020 with COVID, when I had 5 peers take their lives from overwork, underfed.
Working in the medical.
Yeah. But when I started this, I was introduced to a man of finance, and he used to work for Boeing. And we talked, and I'm like, well, yeah, you sound like you'd probably be the right one. And then, so he takes on the position as the CFO, right? And I'm micromanaging. big time micromanaging. And one day he called and he said, "We need to talk." And he said, "Obviously, you have an issue with somebody having access to your money." And I said, I do. Because when I was new in being a doctor, there was a number of us here on the island that used the same bookkeeper person. If one doc finds something, then we're all on board. Oh, yeah. And then they disappeared with an enormous amount of money.
Oh, my.
Overnight. And never did find that person, right, that I know of. Anyway, I promised myself at that time I would never, never, never not keep my finger on the pulse. Well, then I turned not put my finger on the pulse into micromanaging, right? And so Craig, he said to me, he said, "You either trust me or not." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'm going to trust you." And the other day we had a financial thing that had to be done, and I contacted him, and he said, that's in my boat. And I said, "That's why I'm calling you." And he says, "I will take care of it." And it's so amazing because he will. He will. And then we had another situation the other day where we needed to set up Venmo and all of that kind of stuff. And he says, just do this, do this, do this. Well, everything was under his name. And I put it in my phone, capital letters, red, "This is Craig's job." So I didn't do it. And it is so freeing to have him in my life. It has made my health so much better. I can depend on him. I trust him. And he said, "I don't want to know what you guys are doing. I just need to know how much money do we have and how much do you want. And you got to prove that to me, and then I'll put it on all the paperwork for the IRS, right?" And there's people that just have that gift.
Yes.
And then there's others that are kind of more like me. I'm a visionary. I have all these grandiose ideas. I can take a quarter and make it a dollar. I have that ability.
Yes.
But as far as, okay, we've got to put this money away because there's going to be taxes due on that, and this has to be done, and this license and this insurance needs to be paid, and
it can be a lot to juggle.
You pull in somebody that you can trust, right? Or learn.
Yeah, there's a I don't know if it's a fable or an old wives' tale, but you're going to pay for this one way or the other. You're either going to pay with your money or you're going to pay with your time, right? So which one? What's your currency of choice? And that's why I'm really huge on financial education. For me, after COVID, or before COVID, I am also a person who can make $1 out of 25 cents. So I had cash coming in. Money was not a problem. I had savings, investments, all of those things. I know how to make money. I didn't know how money worked. It wasn't until they forced a rest period for me, where I thought, oh my gosh, what have I been doing? All of this that has come through my hands. I'm in a beauty profession. Right. We get money. But I wasn't putting it away. It was coming in, Yeah. I love experiential wealth. I'm a traveler, I'm traveling. I'm living my best life. I'm, just having the balance that I created in my business for my mental health, right? Because I definitely believe in having quality time, free time, and I am dedicated to lifelong learning. So this is where my money was going. It was going after the things that I desire. But even though I did have savings, I didn't expect what I would call like an 18-month halt, because as far as business is concerned, there was the initial pause, but then there's all of the backlash because we are in the travel industry. Anybody that's here, your position is touched by visitors one way or the other. And since they told people not to come, that's a direct effect on the economy. So that financial independence number, how many days can you survive? How many days can you thrive, live, be safe before you run out of money? Because in retirement, the whole goal is to not run out of resources.
Right? Bring back to money at the currency, current water. And in Chinese medicine, in the feng shui, the money corner it's water, right? Fluidity. Money comes in and money goes out. Money comes in, money goes out. But one of my mentors, he said, money is a lubricant. And when you think about the physical body, there's a lot of metaphysics about it, but also very, very old science, Ayurvedic, Chinese medicine as well. People with low back pain, you can almost always track it back to some kind of a financial situation.
Really?
Right?
Tell me more about that.
And the knees too, because in Chinese medicine, I'll say with that, is the emotion of the kidneys, which is your lower back, and your knees is fear, which is related to the kidneys. And when we worry, the kidneys get worse. And then when we spend too much money, the worry comes up more, right? And we're just stepping into that season right now, right? Oh, I got to do that. I got to get somebody a present or something like that.
Oh, yeah, the holidays.
But I want to bring it back to a lubricant. In your body, every one of your joints is oiled by the natural lubricants in the body. So could we kind of right now be artists and create a visual for people to understand that money is a lubricant? It will help their body, so it is more fluid. Our bodies are 75% water.
That's right.
And we're supposed to be fluid, but a lot of I've worked with billionaires that have knee problems, right? Which is about flexibility, trust, and all of those kind of things. So let's use our creative skills here and think about what's a visual or something that people can go home today and go, or they're at home and go, you know what, I can apply this to my life. Money as a lubricant.
Money as a lubricant. Okay, so there's a couple layers. The first one is probably slightly naughty, so I won't go there. Lubricant is a power word. Okay.
And we can't say some words on the show, but we can certainly talk about body parts.
I mean, when we're talking about the anatomy and its systems, right? I'm like, lubricant, okay. There's appendage.
Yeah.
Well, certainly if that is okay, from a woman's standpoint, we know that lubricant on certain, may I call it appendage? What is the best word to call it medically?
The vagina.
No, for the other. For his.
A penis.
Oh, well, so, okay, perfect.
Yeah,
Let's talk. Let's talk story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's anatomy.
Okay, from a woman's perspective, we know the difference between allowing a dry or large, small object that could be a penis into our space, our vagina, when it's not lubricated. That usually creates a painful experience. Is that right? But when it is lubricated, it can become more pleasurable. Why? Because it can possibly reach higher heights. It can be protective, depending on what type of lubricant it is. It can be, it can help with the movement in general, right? During a particular exercise, makes it more comfortable, gives us more pleasure.
Pleasure. That's a great word.
Yeah. So if we were looking at money or the management of money as a pleasurable lubricant, I got to say, this is a first. So I'm definitely creating in real time here.
Well, thank you for being willing to do that.
Yeah, this is so much fun. Yeah, I guess the point is, if pleasure is what you're seeking, then do you want the lubricated penis, or do you want the one without? Do you want the funded experience, your money,
right,
or the unfunded experience, right? Do you want the safety net, the protective layer of having more than enough, or do you want the crapshoot of let's see what happens?
Right.
You decide.
Yeah. I hope you're all getting this. This is pretty deep, actually, to think about how we're taking one part of the body, or talking about one part of the body, and then bringing it into money. Mm-hmm. Because money is a lubricant. It is a protection. Mm-hmm. It's not everything, and it allows movement, like you were talking about traveling.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
It takes money to buy that airline ticket. Mm-hmm. Right? And more comfort. Like today I was at the bank and I'm like, oh yeah, it just feels, yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I know for me, for a time, wasn't aware of it per se before COVID. Mm-hmm. But I'm a person that likes to think about the things that I do want. The things that I expect. My thoughts will go there, not the things that I don't want. Right? And so if I want to be pleased with my life, with my lifestyle, with my options, because money purchases options and opportunity. Mm-hmm. Money purchases time, comfort. If that's what I want, then I understand that there's probably some things I have to do to secure that as an option. Mm-hmm. And in the absence of those things not being done, I have no security. And that's just an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah.
And as far as our bodies, especially as a woman, I want to throw this opportunity back to you. Is there a way that you could illustrate hormones and how they affect women, aging women, once you're over 40, with this type of thing? Because what I'm noticing is now my body's starting to do some things that I didn't expect. And that's probably because I didn't plan for them. The same as with my money, when inflation hits, or there's a tariff that comes out of nowhere, or other decisions are made that affect how much $1 can buy. Yeah. I'm caught off guard because I wasn't prepared for that as an option, because I wasn't thinking about that before versus after. Right. So with hormones, do you have like a creative?
I do. I actually have studied this quite extensively.
Wonderful.
And I went to a lot of different countries to find out why is it that women in certain countries don't have osteoporosis. And what it is dancing.
Dancing. And osteoporosis is bone health challenges? Okay.
It is, yeah. Brittle bones.
Yes.
And like Egypt, I'll start with Egypt. They start the children dancing and moving their pelvis when they're really, really young, tiny. And I didn't see any women with osteoporosis. And I interviewed a lot of women, but they all danced the belly dance.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And when I personally was probably around your age, I lost the ability to walk. And it was a very scary time. Mm-hmm. And then I went to a physical therapist here, Jade Brown, and she put her hands on my belly and she said, "You need to dance." I went, "Oh my God, I don't have time to dance." She says, "You need to start belly dance. Come with me, I'll take you." So we started working with this woman, and I just cried. I was on crutches. I just cried and cried and cried and cried. Mm-hmm. But then one day I came out of my bedroom and I was able to bend over, and I went, "Oh my God, I can bend over," right? That dance got my pelvis moving, got all the joints started to lubricate. It was a hip issue. They did MRIs. They couldn't find anything wrong. But what it really came down to, I wasn't dancing my life. I had created a business that was extremely successful, taking all of my time, and my creativity wasn't getting anything. Right? And that's the one thing that I find with women is, and especially as we're going through the shifts that we go through, there's some things we just don't do anymore. And then what we do is we dance with the moon. We dance with the sun, go through those moon changes, right? And our body is influenced by the moon. We are 75% water, and the moon is in charge of the tides. And we have these tides, this fluid within our body, right? And these are opportunities. And we got a new moon coming up in a few days, and that new moon is when we plant our seeds.
I love that.
Yeah.
So maybe this inspires me to look at creating sort of a stewardship dance, right? Because in my purpose to kind of plant the seeds of financial success, to couple that with dance, which I love the dance. It's great. I think would be a good creative project for me, because I can understand instantly how that would be. And even adding the music to it, different music creates different response from your body. Right. And so if there was a exercise or even a framework or something I could identify that would align dance with the cycles of the phases of the moon, take it up a notch, maybe even your cycle. I don't know how that comes into play. That might be something.
Oh, it's fascinating.
And
it's fascinating.
Stewardship of money, that would be a game changer. And then do some kind of TikTok thing and share it and have everybody doing it, not even knowing that they are administering to their body in a way kind of like disguised as fun and games, but actually it's catering to their being.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I am so glad I'm here today. I would have never thought of that. You're amazing.
You as well. Thank you. It's actually interesting because when I was driving over here, I hadn't gotten the email that perhaps you were going to be watching, or, because you're going to start your own show, right?
Yes.
But I saw that there would be a woman of color in here, and I went, well, it must be Robin Garrison. Maybe Robin's going to show
I know
up.
Robin the doula?
Yeah, of course you know Robin. Who doesn't know Robin on this island, right? And then I'm like, well, I haven't talked to Robin about coming. And then when Tony said that, and I'm like, okay, well, money. I love talking about money, and as a tool for health.
Yes.
Wealth.
Yes.
And so here you are. Look at there. And when you were talking about the sun and the moon and the stewardship.
Yes.
Stewardship. I saw your ancestors just showing up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
Sweet.
bring it forward, right? Because what we're doing, some of the stuff we're doing right now is we're clearing our ancestral lineage from things. I had a relative call me the other day, and he says, why is it us Simonsons, they call us Simonsons where I come from, we all have to work so doggone hard? And he was one of the players in our family. And I'm like, God, how can he golf that many times? I'd rather be working, right? Because that's how we were trained. But there was such a, I'm going to call it lack. And we didn't have things. We didn't have toothbrushes. We didn't have shoes. We were always hand-me-downs, And I remember when I started playing with words, especially around finances, and the first word that came to me was lack. There was never enough. So I decided to just feel that in my body. What does lack do? It has a lot of energy to it. I decided to give it a new job description. And I was going to call it lucky, because it starts with an L, and it was going to be my GPS. So in my truck, when you get into my truck, right there is I painted a beautiful picture of a shoe horse lucky as my GPS. Right?
Wow.
So taking these energies and giving it a new job description, and then bringing it back to my favorite 6 letters, value. VALYOU.
Because you're Valerie.
Value.
Yes, but you're Val.
I am.
You are. That's
am.
perfect.
I know. And when we think about our nonprofit is called You Know More. And it's about reminding us that we got this.
Yes.
It's all in there. The innate wisdom is there. It's just, are we able to speak it? Are we able to? The best way to get it moving is dancing.
Yes.
Right? And it doesn't have to be. If there's, I have a really dear friend that's a quadriplegic. Well, I mean, that's arms, legs, everything. That woman dances.
Wow, that's amazing.
Right? And even Pilates and things like that were brought forward. You don't have to be moving. You just think it, and then it starts to move. And going back to money moves.
Yes.
It comes in, it goes out.
It should. There are some people, though, who have been taught to park money.
Oh, yes.
Right? Take it and put it in this space where you're going to get no to low interest. Meanwhile, they're going to be banking. They're making a lot of money off of you having it parked there. They're not going to tell you that, but they're doing, or you could be doing exactly what they're doing, which is put that money somewhere so that it goes out and gets more of the same. Every dollar you make should be getting pregnant. Since we're going with penises and vaginas, your dollars should be the result of one good penis vagina situation where they're going out and coming back pregnant, meaning they're coming back higher value than when they left.
I love that. I love that whole concept of your money come back pregnant.
Yeah.
Right? Multiply.
That is, we are women.
Yeah.
We are here to multiply and nurture. Part of our nurturing money is to send it out, right? So that it comes back to us multiplied. And that's stewardship.
It's stewardship. And the word that I was always told when I was, all my therapists over the decades of working with therapists, you'd say, this is my last one, this is a worthiness issue. This is a worthiness issue. And God, she's driving a Mercedes. I'm driving an old Isuzu because I'm paying for her Mercedes, right? So every week for a year. And one day she said, Valerie, this is a worthiness issue. And I got furious and I said, no, it is not. This is what I learned. Hurt me. That means I love you.
Wow, that's deep.
That's when she said, the queen has arrived. Let's have a cup of tea.
Wow.
And then I took that word worthy, threw it out the window, and went to value.
Yeah.
Because especially as women, we're underpaid, all of that kind of thing that goes. And even as much as we try not to make it an issue for us, and I'm going to bring Robin Garrison back in. I mean, I've watched her for years. She's working out every day. Her body is strong.
Yeah.
She's moving. You ever watch her dance? And some of those other ladies, they got it moving. They have command of their bodies. And the money is it's part of our body. It's a lubricant, ladies.
It's a lubricant. Right? Lube that thing.
And at the same time, men too. Low back pain. One of the biggest things with men is low back pain. That's fear. One of my peers had a kidney replacement. I had a number of them. And I said, so what's really behind it all? What's the root of it? And they said, I'm not going to have enough money.
And that's what we can avoid. There are steps that can be taken starting today to kind of reduce any deficit that may be there. But it starts with first knowing what that number is so that you can then explore and identify different ways to get you to that number. And you don't have to do it alone. right?
Right, you don't.
It's better when there's more of us, because each
true.
of us needs all of us.
And then put those numbers up.
So you can see it
The
and
mirror.
dance to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. And I like working with threes as well, 369, right?
Yes,
and
yes.
the other day.
Beautiful numbers.
But I don't remember when I did, I put my special number up on my mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was looking at my finances, I went, oh my God, I did that.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I first did it, I went, the island's in trouble, blah, blah, I was really in that vein, and everybody's kind of struggling. And then when I looked at it, I went, whoa, there it is. Because I saw it every day, and I became that.
Yep.
And in that came the value where I was able to say, this is what it costs me. Or that's what it costs to see me, right? Which goes back to value.
That's right.
Value yourself. We have 1 more minute left. What do you want to, what's your take home?
My take home is this idea of movement, whether it's keeping your body moving, keeping your money moving, keeping your mind moving. It is a form of nurture and self-care, stewardship, and it's something that we can all do if we choose. So, what are we going to choose today, ladies?
Yeah.
And
And
gents.
gentlemen.
And gents.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
choose you. Value. Value. This has
Yeah.
been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, Dr. Valerie. I
You're
appreciate
welcome,
you.
Taz. The universe always brings us together the way that we're supposed to be together. I want to thank you all for joining us today. Never know what's going to show up on The Nature of Your Nature, right? You know more. Yes, you do. And this is Dr. Valerie signing off. We'll see you next week. Ahui ho.
Stay lubricated.